Question. I'm just answering a curveball question. I don't know what the question is, but you should answer the question. Or it's like, how does your theory indicate this? I feel like I also think that like the questions they ask in the phones are probably usually similar to the questions they ask there. I feel like usually ponder is like practical questions, like what does it mean for the world? Or like think about this whole thing. Yeah. Or like who is and who is like religious theory? Yeah, it's just how does your work sit in conversation with other things?
They don't have a conversation.
Yeah. Oh, and it's important. How can it help? How does it learn? Oh, so that's when you find truth? That's when you hit her? Oh, what makes you think I can?
Yeah, that's about it. Yeah, I've seen the time that I was
Didn't you just meet all the people? Didn't you not meet anybody else?
Tim, should we go back to the other side? We've done one on 25.
You talked to somebody, you talked to, which was it? Okay, so this one is at UND. Oh, gender, women, and sexuality. Race, women, television, the theater, the culture.
Okay, can everybody hear me? Start now. Good morning, everybody. My name is Vincent Campbell. I'm an artist, I'm a researcher, I'm a therapist, all of the above, and I'm representing North New Jersey. I included this image of a door because I feel like this research is here to open a new door, open a body of work. It's not just a one-off. So you can look out for more research to come following this. So this project is titled Phase 1, Construction and Validation of the DAF-Q. You may be asking yourself, what is the DAF-Q? Any SpongeBob fans out there? Okay.
I got you.
Basically, the DAF-Q is a tool that I created, and I use it to basically study psychological advantageousness. And you may be asking yourself, what is psychological advantageousness? Well, psychological advantageousness refers to the differential impact of one's mental and emotional intrapsychic infrastructure or its components in their quality of life. Essentially, it's the relationship between what you believe, how your internal world is set up, and the quality of your life. The NEII includes beliefs, your ontology, your axiology, your epistemology, basically what you believe exists, what your values are, what counts as knowledge to you, the cognitive schemas you use, your vocabulary, your language, your affective traits, your moods, all of the above, everything going on inside your internal world. Quality of life is typically described as a subjective perception of one's own quality of life, but in my research, I would like to broaden the definition of that to include not just subjective measures, but also intersubjective and objective. By intersubjective, I mean that someone's perception of their own quality of life is valid, but also the people around them, their mother, their kids, their people closest to them, may be able to see their blind spots, and they may be able to speak to that person's quality of life. Because sometimes people aren't, they have like impediments to their self-awareness. And then objective measures would be like, if we look at the humors of the body, if we look at there's physiology, their urine samples, blood work, and things like that, we can see their quality of life. So basically, this image just illustrates psychological advantageousness as this relationship between someone's internal world and their quality of life. And the DAF-Q is basically my jellyfishing net that I'm going to use to catch psychological advantageousness, which is, I put this image of this king jellyfish because that was the one SpongeBob wanted to catch. And essentially, there's all of these phenomena that are out here in the world around us that we may not see, and we need tools to identify and measure them. So you might say, why the DAF-Q? Well, the purpose of this, like I said, there's jellyfish all around us, but we need a measure to be able to see them. It's no different from using a microscope. There's a whole micro world around us we wouldn't be able to see without that type of technology. So this serves the same purpose. And as far as empowerment, as you can see on here, once you know how your beliefs are in life, you can make better decisions about what you believe. So if you look here, say somebody has belief X, they may have a certain quality of life, somebody has belief Y, they may have a certain quality of life. If we look at groups of people that believe X and people that believe Y, we can say whether X is better than Y. My beliefs are better than yours. And this empowers individuals to choose, maybe I've been believing X this whole time, maybe I want to change to Y or Z. And you can catch a jellyfish, we can grasp psychological advantageousness. How is it constructed? Basically, I put together indicators of somebody's mental and emotional intrapsychic infrastructure. For this study, I focused primarily on beliefs because that was the easiest one to start with. For quality of life, I administered a 5-point Likert scale ranging from strongly disagree to strongly agree, and participants basically rated how typically they feel a given disposition or affect. So it would say, typically I feel happy, and you would say strongly disagree or strongly agree. Some of the beliefs that I asked people to endorse were God exists, God does not exist, and then I gave them an option to say, I don't know. There were 37 total beliefs in 11 categories like this, 11 groupings, so they had to pick. How was it validated? How is anything validated? It's like going to get your wheels aligned. You calibrate what you have with something that already exists. So I had to administer the DAF-Q at the same time that I administered two already validated studies. Tools. So I just put them side by side. I had the DAF-Q, the patient health questionnaire 4, which is, if anyone's been to the student health center, they administer that when you first walk into the facility, and then the psychological well-being scale, which is a measure of well-being. I thought there would be 3 factors in the DAF-Q. There were 12, so I was wrong. As far as validity, the DAF-Q was positively correlated with the psychological well-being scale, which I expected, because high scores on both indicate higher quality of life. The DAF-Q was negatively correlated with the patient health questionnaire because high scores on that indicates anxiety or depression. This is the correlation matrix, but for the interest of time, I'll fast forward. How has it been used? Phase 1 of my dissertation, I basically administered the DAF-Q, the PHQ-4, and the psychological well-being scale via Qualtrics to about 700 people. I learned a lot about attrition in this study. 700 people clicked the link, only 169 actually completed all the items. And my main question for doing this research was, what are the top 5 highest quality of life yielding beliefs? So on the DAF-Q, these are the top 5. In uncertain times, I usually expect the best. Everyone cares about me. The world owes me everything. Successful people work harder than others around them. And then I don't know. But I don't know was couched within a belief group. So they were given the option, it's safer to trust nobody, it's safer to trust some people, it's safer to trust everybody, or I don't know. People that selected I don't know actually score higher on the DAF-Q than people that selected the other options. On the patient health questionnaire, it was everyone cares about me, and I don't know within the belief cluster. I don't know within the cluster of beliefs associated with expectation. In uncertain times, I usually expect the best, usually expect the worst, do not expect anything at all. I don't know, outperform this alternatives. The world owes me everything, it's safer to trust everybody, and successful people work harder than others around them. If you notice, across the 3 different measures, it's the same beliefs repeating over and over again. So that tells me there's something about these beliefs that's yielding higher quality of life in the believers. And this is the end goal, this is the main point of doing this. We want to attach statistics to beliefs. Right now, people choose their beliefs arbitrarily. I believe this because this is how I was raised, this is where I grew up. But if you take a Christian and you put them, I don't know, in Saudi Arabia, they wouldn't grow up Christian. So the belief that you choose in your lifetime is more or less arbitrary based on where you grew up, who you're around. And now we can be more informed about what we believe. I can look at them side by side and say, oh, Christianity is associated with this score on the DAF, or this score on the psychological well-being scale, and then I can make an adjustment. Questions? Yes.
I was curious about the 700 participants and respondents that you sent that out to. How did you find that, those 700, and what did you do to get what I thought was a pretty good response rate?
I basically set up tables across campus. I had a table out in front of Blackburn. I went to the towers, I went to College Hall, you know, the Annex, College Hall South, and the quad is right there. And I basically posted flyers. They just did. I had to like get out the mud, I guess, like show up, ask people to take the survey, like that.
So they were all, sounds like on-campus students, right?
Primarily. I did share it on social media, of course, so some of them were online, but the vast majority were on campus.
Okay, so not necessarily all on campus, assuming that you did post on social media, so you might have gotten non-college. Because I think that's really important to point out on your slide too, as well as the majority of it. You do have some demographics there that you pointed out, like, you know, the medium and all of that, but I think that would help making sense of the findings. But I thought, and then the other thing, because you did have such a good response rate, I thought, particularly for comparable surveys of this type, which I would kind of point out, it's worth putting the percentage so people see that you had a strong response rate.
Okay, yeah, thank you for that. I can add it to my next presentation.
Yeah.
Question?
Hello, I have a related question, and I have more context because I know your work from Just Julian. But I'm curious how doing this research has impacted or changed the art that you make. Because I know your art.
Oh, it's changed a lot. I actually, my art has kind of shifted to illustrate this because the things that I'm saying, when I just say it, sometimes it's hard for people to understand. So I had to create art to illustrate it. But I actually have an art show opening in June, and it's going to capture this research that I've been doing through visual things. But you can also follow me on Instagram, fineart_red. I'm on YouTube. My website is museumofred.com. So if you're interested in seeing the artwork that's associated with this, because it's tied together, just check me out online. Okay, thank you.
Where's the doing with you?
Oh.
Yeah, what's funny? Come on.
I don't think.
You don't think so?
Like, the video, you know, I just keep saying.
But I said that when I asked the question.
Oh, okay. I can't hear you, man.
Good morning, everyone. I am Shobika. I will be talking on the topic of electronic characterization of MS2, band gap analysis of layer determination via Raman and